Trump on Friday at Trump Tower in New York, which has a very large indoor waterfall, which you'll hear in the background. There's been a lot of commentary this week that this has been the worst week in your campaign. A lot of people want to stop you. Are they succeeding?
I don't know that it's been the worst week in my campaign. I think I've had many bad weeks and I've had many good weeks. I don't see this as the worst week in my campaign, but certainly I've had some weeks, and you've been reporting on them, where that was the end, and then the next week you see poll numbers where they went up and everybody's shocked. So yeah, people want to stop me because I'm leading by a lot.
You had a week where abortion rights, where everybody on both sides of the abortion issue didn't know what your position was. Your campaign manager was...
That was asked as a hypothetical question, and he said if abortion is illegal. The bottom line is that it is the doctor's fault, but that was asked as a hypothetical.
Well, I want to get back to that in a minute, but your campaign manager is charged this week. That's not a good week.
Do I love it? No. But am I going to ruin a man's life by firing him when I look at a tape that I supplied? I mean, that tape was from one of my facilities. We have cameras all over the place for security. I do a good job with security, and we have cameras. And I looked and I said, what did he do? I mean, you know, do you destroy a man's life? You look at her and you look at her initial statement. She grabbed my arm, obviously. Everybody sees that. She grabs my arm. But then when you looked at her initial statement, it was that she was almost thrown down to the ground. And, and by the way, if she were actually thrown down to the ground and all those things happened, I would have fired him instantaneously. But I don't want to ruin a man's life over a tape that looks like practically nothing happened.
But here's what happened. Your campaign manager said she was delusional when the report came out. He said it didn't happen. When the report first came out, did you talk to him?
Well, I could see maybe he not even knowing that it happened. Because
but did you talk to him about this event?
I did speak to him, but here's the thing.
What did he say?
It was such a minor incident that he might not have even known what was going on. I'm not sure that he knew her. I think he said he really didn't know her.
What did he say when you talked to him about it?
I don't think he knew too much about it. I talked to him very briefly, to be honest with you. I never thought this was going to turn into be much of a thing. Actually, when I really got engaged was after I saw this tape. Because if you look at the tape, practically nothing happens. And when you look at her early statement, before she knew we had a tape, if you look, because I supplied it, if you look at her early statement, John, it was like she was, really accosted. And I will tell you this: if what happened on her statement, if that happened, I would have fired him.
I'd like to talk about his statement, though, since he works for you. You want to be,
but nobody wants to talk about her statement.
She doesn't work for you, though. He works for you, and you're the boss.
Excuse me. Her statement was like this horrible thing happened. Then you look at the tape and people are still trying to say, like, what happened?
But Mr. Trump, he said he didn't touch her. He said she was delusional. You said she was making it up. The videotape shows she wasn't making it up.
Well, if you look at the videotape, you don't even see a grab. You see her almost being blocked out.
So your view is...
By the way, she grabbed me, just so you understand. And you could see me going like that. She was not supposed to be asking any questions. The news conference was over. She bolted in from nowhere. She went in between Secret Service. She grabbed my arm, which everybody sees. I went like that, like, who is this person? And she started asking questions she wasn't supposed to do.
Did Corey Lewandowski tell the truth when he said he didn't touch her?
I don't know, because I can't tell you in what context. The event.
You don't know that he touched her?
The event to me, what do I know? The event to me seems so minor. Well, that's why I look at it. The only thing I have to go by is the tape.
And when you see it, does it look like he touched her?
To me, seems, well, he blocked her out. I don't see her grabbing. I see her being blocked out because she wasn't supposed to be there. But you also see her touching me before he ever even got involved. So here's the thing. Do I ruin a man's life? He's got 4 beautiful children. He's got a family. Do I fire him and ruin a man's life over something that when I looked at the tape, I said, what's going on? When I was in Wisconsin, I had a large audience, and I said, how many people saw the tape? And many people raised their hand. I say, how many people think, of those people that saw the tape, think that he should be fired? Not one, and you have it on your cameras, not one person raised their hand.